All right, we're going to see if that works better. Something happened there, and I'm not even sure what, because we just did a live, and it was totally fine. So let's see if we can get everybody back on board. My apologies. I want to make sure I can see the comments, but all of a sudden I saw that I was freezing. And that's one of the benefits for us. That's why when you guys often say that you're freezing, I don't worry about it because I am actually watching the live, so I can see usually ahead of you if we are having some communication issues, and it does look like we did. Stace, if you can just hang tight, have it on in the background for a little bit, that would be fabulous. So again, I'm not sure what happened. All of a sudden, it just froze, and I lost all the comments. Everything, lost everything. So we are back. My apologies. I don't know what happened. Have no idea. So we're just going to give it a minute, get those numbers back up and running. If you missed the first part, I did talk about our homework. You want to make sure that you have all of your homework handy. We have not started yet. We had a little bit of a technical issue. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I just saw everything freeze. Facebook, one of those things. You can't predict technology. So we are going to get started. As I was mentioning before, we had a little bit of a blippy blip. We are going to be doing 2 cards, very, very layered cards. They are what I would consider my typical style, and they lean really well into all of these laser cuts, etc. Now, we have lots to do today. We have lots to cut, and of course, lots of die cuts to find. So if you want to grab all of your homework for card number 1, while we're just gathering all the troops, I'm just going to pull out the homework for number 1. Yeah, let's hope we stay that way, Susan. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden it just blipped, but this is why I watch on the devices so that I know if we have an issue. Now, on card 1 homework, I asked you to do 2 white die cuts that were from the largest die. So on our dies, we were talking about that before our little interruption. We have our largest one. I had you do 2 of them from white. This is going to become our card base. So we're going to make a shaped card with these. So we have 2 of these. I'll set those aside. And then we have a bunch of gold. So we have this gold that was 3 3/4 by 5. We had a smaller piece that was 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. I had 2 strips. They're just little strips that I asked you to do. And then we have this die, which is number 4 die. So again, starting out the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was this one. And just to save, I cut it out of the center of the big one. So those are what we're going to use for homework. We are going to use our dies during Crafty Hour as well. So have your dies handy and have your die cut machine handy because we are going to do a few dies as well. Okay, I think we're going to get started. I think everybody has come back. I am going to keep a close eye on the video, so we'll know if we have any issues. And we are going to start with just creating the card. Now, what I want you to do is take your 2 largest die cuts that you die cut, and these are not the same top to bottom, okay? You may need to make sure that well, actually I lied. They are the same top to bottom. If you rotate it like that, they will not line up. So what I want you to do is put 2 back to back so that they line up 100%. That's the first thing I want you to do. Make sure that they line up because if you have it flipped, it is not going to work. They will not line up. So have them line up and then choose 1. Let's just take the top one for now. And we are going to score it 1 inch from the top. So that is a score. So I'm going to put it into my trimmer sideways. I'm going to take it to the number 1. And using my score blade, not my cutting, double check, I'm going to do a gentle score. Okay, so just like that. About 1 inch down is perfect. I'll put that aside. I don't need that. So that is what we're going to have, 1 inch down. Okay, and I'm going to give it a little bend. just like so, because what we're going to do is we are going to glue the top together just in that 1-inch spot. This makes a really easy shaped card. So as you can see, there is the die. I've done my 1 inch, and that is going to be a beautiful shaped card. So when we go to put adhesive on it, we are just going to put it on that top inch. I like to use something a little bit more instant for this, so I don't use my liquid glue. I am going to use my double-sided tape, and I'm going to put 2 strips down. I'm going to put one at the very top, and I'm going to put one right above the score line, right like that. Okay, just like so. And again, just to double check, we're going to make sure that they do all line up so your paper is going the right way. And then we're just going to remove that tape. So there's 1 and then a 2. Remove that. And we're going to line this up. Now it should line up exactly. So I'm just going to line it up, lay it down, go ahead and give it a little bit of TLC at the top, a little rubbing. And there we have our shaped card. Now you can do that with so many dies. We've done this in the past. You could do it with circle dies, square dies, postage stamp dies, all kinds. And it just makes a really quick and easy card front. Now we're going to take our gold and we're going to double check it, make sure it fits onto the front of our card. Gives us that little decal edge, which looks like it's been torn. And we're going to glue it together. So go ahead and add some glue and we're going to attach that. We've already done that. That was part of your homework. So we're just going to attach it. And then we're going to start cutting paper. So if you guys can get to that stage with me, we are going to start cutting paper. Now, as I mentioned, we're only going to do 2 cards today because I did quite the layers. I know last Crafty Hour, which was Crafty Hour 63, between Courtney and I, we did 10 cards. So that was a lot. And you're going to have stuff left over to make some more. So what I want you to do now is find this paper. This paper has kind of like a daisy print on the back. The front looks like this. Oh yeah, oval ones are not so good, Evelyn. You know, the other problem with ovals, sometimes they don't have enough to hold it to stand up. Sometimes it does, but yeah, I get what you're saying. That would look like a toilet seat or a plane window. How about we look at it positive? So this is the one I want you to find, and we're going to be using the daisy side. Okay, don't take off any barcodes. We're going to use the bottom of all of them just to make it nice and easy. All right, and we're going to cut this at 3 5/8. Now I'll tell you what that looks like. We're going to cut it from the bottom. So let's take the bottom into our trimmer at 3 5/8. That is going to be just over 3 1/2, just under 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut it and then I will show you. That is where we want, right in between 3 1/2 and 3 3/4. Now we may need to adjust this. We're just going to get it kind of in the right spot for now. This paper we're going to put aside. We are not going to use it. That is for Courtney later. Maybe. I don't know which paper she's using. We'll see. Okay, now we're going to trim it to just under 5. So turn it sideways. Doesn't matter to me which side you cut it from. And we're going to take it to just under 5. Right about there is good. Okay, let's have a look. Make sure it fits. This is a background. Oh, it's perfect. Look at that. Right on the gold. So it's going to give you that little shiny gold all the way around. Let's go ahead and glue that together. Okay, you're not going to see this paper at all on the back. It's just going to be there as our background. So we'll attach that, and then we're going to set that off to the side while we find another paper. So Put that off to the side. Love the look of that die as a shaped card. It's just so pretty. Adds a little elegance to it. Okay, set that aside, and I want you to find your diagonal striped paper. Okay, the flip side is a great cursive paper. We're looking for the diagonal side. So if you can find that paper, we're going to do a cut on that next. Okay, and once again, we are going to cut from the bottom. So we're going to take it to the bottom, and we're just going to cut a strip off that's 1 3/4. This is from your diagonal paper. So 1 3/4. Put that one aside. 1 3/4, that is from the bottom of the diagonal striped paper. And we're going to do that to 4 7/8. So same length as our paper we just cut. Yes, this is the glue velvet. I don't care for that little, you know what, but yes, this is the one I have been showing on our lives. This is the one from Denmark. I don't use that little scraper thingy. I'm not a fan of it. Now, we're not going to do anything with this stripey yet. This stripey measures 1 3/4 by 4 7/8. I'm just going to make sure it fits there, looks good, and set it off to the side. And we're going to bring in these. Okay, so it's time to start die cutting. Now, I'm just going to bring in my die cut here so I can show you. I'm not going to bring in my whole machine. But what we're going to do, and you might be able to do it, yeah, if you grab your second largest die. So let me bring in all my dies. I need to get mine on a magnetic sheet. I haven't had a chance to yet. Been a little crazy. But this is the second biggest, okay? So not the biggest, it's the second biggest. Second biggest. If you want to make sure you have the right one, if you hold it up to here, just make sure it goes right top to bottom of your pattern paper. Now what we're going to do is cut 2 edges with it. So I always use my dies in this way. Some of you might think I'm kind of crazy, but I always do this. If you've been in any of my classes, you know that. Just because it's a rectangle doesn't mean it has to be used as a rectangle. We are going to cut 2 strips, and I do this all the time. You got to get more use out of your dies. So we're just going to cut 2 strips. I have mine on a magnetic to show you. I'm going to put it through and die cut now. So you do both of them at the same time because we have room on there. So let me die cut these. You go die cut yours. I do this with square dies. Whoops, I do it with all kinds. So then when we remove it, this part is going to get thrown away. And we have 2 strips that have a decorative edge on one side. Okay. And what we will do with that is we're going to glue one to the back side, like so. And we're going to glue one to the flip side, like so. Okay, and I like to use my double-sided tape, so we'll just take our tape, and I like to run it. I just like that instant grab, because with the liquid glue, you get the wiggle time, which is perfect. That's what we usually need, but not all the time. So I'm going to take this down. And I'm going to put it on each side. Now I'm gluing it to the back side. And that's just going to give us a fancy little edge on each side, just like that. How much you want to see the gold is totally up to you. I don't usually do it too much because I want it to be the same as my borders around my card. So kind of think of it that way. You don't want too much. And that's pretty good too. So we just got a fancy edge. Now, once we've got that, we are going to foam tape it onto our card. We'll just foam tape it right like that. It's going to go onto the left side of the card. I need some foam tape. All right, let's get that on. I'm watching the time here. Make sure that we have plenty of time. And again, we do upload these right to our YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch them. You don't have to worry about them disappearing, or if you're looking for any of them. If you go to the YouTube channel, both Courtney and I have one now, and it will show you all of the crafty hours. I came in maybe about 1/4 inch. Okay, keep moving. Let's keep going. I'm now going to find this paper. Looks like this on this side. It might be easier to find it on the back. It's kind of like a damask type pattern. This is the next one I want you to find. And it's going to be important which way we cut this paper, because we are going to see some of the cursive writing. So if you find that, I will walk you through how we're going to do that one. Okay. We are going to take the bottom of this paper, and we're going to be using the front side, not this side. Well, I don't know, maybe this is the front side. And we're going to take it to 4 inches. So essentially we are cutting it in half. It's a 6 by 8. Put that side away. That's what I did with all my papers. I cut them all in half so I didn't use any that didn't belong to me. So we have 4 inches. And then we are going to turn it right side up. And now you're going to see that cursive writing. And we're going to trim it to 2 3/4. 2 3/4. So we have a piece that looks like this, and this is why you can see there is writing on it. Very important, it goes the right way. That should fit onto the gold piece that you did as homework. Mine fits perfectly. Let's go ahead and glue that together. Okay. Let's put that on. A little bit of cursive writing there. Bullful. Okay. Now we are going to attach this to our card, and it's going to go a little bit closer to the top. We're going to see a little bit of the stripey on the left, a little bit of that base paper on the right. I am a little closer to the top on this one. I'm about 1/4 inch down from the top. I have a little bit bigger gap on this side. Now, as you can see here on the right, we're going to need 1 strip of foam tape. So I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to take 1 strip of foam tape right down the right-hand side, and then glue everywhere else. Don't need a lot. Whoops. Keep it on the paper. Just like that. Okay, so foam tape. 1 piece on the right, closer to the top. Make sure that the words are going the right way, because you will see some of those. So just like that. Okay, now we're going to find this paper. And this paper has the 4 3x4 cards on it. Everybody has one. And like I said, I just took everything right from the get-go, cut it in half, and I took the bottom portion of all of them. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to cut this in half at 4 inches. We're going to use both of these, and the top ones we can put off to the side. So let's separate these. Now for this card, we're going to use the brown one. And this one is going to be used in our next card. So put it somewhere safe. Put it somewhere safe. So we have this. Now we need to trim this down tremendously, because it needs to fit onto this piece. So as you can see, if you hold that gold up to it, we need to take a little bit off each side. I'm going to give you I don't want to say a guesstimate, but an estimate maybe is a better word, of how big I want this to be. So I'm going to start with 2 3/8 wide. Whoopsie, 2 3/8 wide. That is awful. Start a new one here. 2 3/8 wide. And the height on it is going to be, we're going to say about 3 5/8. So what that means is, you want to take a little off the top and bottom. You want to take a little off each side until you hit that measurement. Okay, so what I do is I just start with one. I take a little off. I turn it upside down, take a little more off until I'm even. And I want these words to stay in the center. So it's kind of like a little off of here and a little off of here. Make sure it fits. Perfect. Okay, so I just went back and forth, keeping this fairly centered. Might not be perfect, but fairly. So that looks okay. And then height-wise, we'll take a little off the top. And maybe just a little off the bottom. I don't have to take a lot on this one. Let's have a look and see. Oh, there we go. So those measurements are going to work perfect. That is going to fit right inside. So hopefully came together as easy for you as it did for me. It was pretty good. And we're going to glue those together. Sometimes it's just a little, and it's better to take a little because, you know, you can put the cut paper back on, but it's not super easy to do that. We want to kind of just make sure we don't take too much off at the beginning and then all of a sudden become short and have to glue. I've had to do that many times. I glue them back together. Okay, so that's what we should have. Measurements are here, and we have trimmed that. Perfect. Now we are going to glue it to our paper. We're going to drop down, so even side to side, we're going to drop down a little bit like this. And I'm going to keep the glue fairly centered because I am going to stuff a couple of things in. But do you see how I am going to hang off the edge by a little bit down at the bottom? Got a bigger gap up here. So keep the glue central, right in the middle. So if I show you mine, we're going to just go like that. Okay, you can see I've got it fairly central. And then we're going to put it down right like that. Okay, it looks a little odd right now, but just trust me. Just trust me. It's going to just come together very nicely. Okay, we are ready to start decorating. So that requires our laser cuts. Let me bring in our laser cuts. And these laser cuts are very detailed, very fine. You're going to need, I did mention some adhesives that you probably are going to want. Micro glue dots are probably going to be very important because these are little pieces. So on your homework supply list, I did say some micro dots would be good. So we're going to pull out a couple of things to start with. First one I'm going to pull out is this frame up top. Now your frame may already be out. I did not have you pull any die cuts, but if you did separate them. We have one frame we're going to pull out. And I'm also going to get you to pull out this ticket over here. This one right here. That's what we're going to start with. I'll just put these off to the side for a minute. We'll come back to those. So I need you to have the white frame and the green ticket that is short and fat. It says 5250. 5250. Those are the two that I need you to find. 5250. We're going to start with those two. Now we're going to start with the 5250, and we are going to cut it right on that line underneath the word return ticket. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it just like so. Just like so. Okay, grab out my glue, get a little bit more precision here. I'm going to start with the one that says 5250. Going to put a little bit of glue on the back. Come on. Oops, guess I need to clear it. I was really bad, and last night I left it undone. Well, I actually left it undone for days, but we won't talk about that. There we go. If ever it does that, you just need to get your little, whoops, your little pin and just kind of push it a little bit more. Okay, now this one we are going to tuck right up here, right about there. So that's why we didn't put glue right underneath everything, so that we can kind of tuck it underneath. We're going to take the second piece. We're going to add a little bit of glue. And we're going to tuck it about halfway down. I'm going to tuck mine right under. So I'm just kind of seeing the words fair. It's going to look like that. But halfway down, and I'm tucking it quite a bit under. And this is just going to give us a little bit of darker areas there. Now, as I mentioned, I am going to be doing a little inking. I am not going to go on the whole card. I kind of like it the way it is. But I did find that this white frame was a tad too white for me. If you look at it on the card, it might be fine for you. I am not making this brown. I am just giving it a little bit of ink. So I just like to use frayed burlap, but it's going to be very light. So I'm going to tap off a large amount of it, and I'm just going to gently rub it. I don't want to make this brown. I just want to give it a little bit of distress. And I think once you see it on here, this is not how I normally distress, but it's just giving it a little bit of brown, just a little bit. Yeah, see how much better that is? So now it kind of blends in. Now you might love the white, and that's totally fine, but it should now kind of blend in a little bit better, not quite be so wah out in your face. Now to attach that, we're going to use our foam strips. So go ahead and peel off that. I like to do that first so that I can just take it all the way around the corners. Just makes it a little bit, oops, a little bit easier. So just like that. And another foam strip. And this is just going to pop it up. All right. Don't have to cover every little bit. It's not a shaker, so we don't need to do that. And I chose to have the darker part of the frame on the bottom. That's just a preference. You can do whichever you like. And we are going to go ahead and attach it just like so. Perfect. Now we're going to do a little bit of decorating. So the next thing we're going to grab is on here, choose anyone you want. Any one of these words. And if you don't like any of them, the back side is blank, so you can do your own thing. So I am going to do, let's see, I'm going to do The World Is Yours right in the middle. You pick yours. And I'm going to give it a little bit of ink because, again, you see how white it is. So just a little bit. I probably have enough left on my brush or on my blender. Yeah, that's good. Just a little bit. Like so. And I'm going to put some foam strip on the back again. So a little foam strip. Just need one piece. And it's going to sit right down here on the bottom. Kind of like that. All right. Next thing I want you to pull is you can take any of these. I mean, they're all going to work. I'm going to use Good Life. If you don't like any of them, again, back is plain. Gotta love that, right? So we're going to take this one. This one's already dirty and distressed, so I'm not going to do anything else, but I am going to trim it in half. I don't need to add any ink on this. It's already kind of inky, which is great. We'll put a little glue. And I cut mine in half only because I don't have to then squish as much underneath. Now I am going to go right down so that, let me just show you here. Mine is gluing to the stripy paper. So right down to the bottom, just going to say Good Life, just going to peek out there. You might not have even noticed it on my card. It's one of those things that once you start, you know, looking at all the details, you'll see it kind of tucked right in there with the flowers. So we'll do that one now. Why does mine look crooked? Because it probably is. There we go. Okay, next thing we're going to do, same sheet, which is this one. We're going to take out these snowdrops. Now, be gentle with it. Having said that, mine did rip apart. They are so detailed, so picky, that you do need to just be a little gentle where it's very delicate. And once it gets a little bit thicker, it comes off really easy. But if it rips, it's no big deal. You just put it back on. Nobody notices. At least I don't notice. Who made the die? Which die, Pamela? Let me know. Are you talking about the decal die? That was the one that I was talking about earlier. Let me know. Okay, and I did not do any inking on this, of course. But I do want to show you where I'm going to put it because this is going to take a moment. We're going to attach it right like this, right down the side. So some of these snowdrops, we are going to put some of the micro dot behind it. And not all of them. As you can see, not all of them have foam. I just picked a few, enough to hold it down in place. Most of them are going to be at the top. So I'm going to flip it over. Where did my pokey tool go? There it is. And I'm going to put some underneath. Okay, so I'm going to put one there and just pick and choose which ones you want. And take the backing off as I go. The die with the rough edges. Pamela, that was in your kit. You should have had that. That is a big die set, regular $36.99, and we gave it to you in your kit. Did you get a kit from Clipper Street? I know you're a Clipper Street customer, so let me know. That is where it is. This is why we do our crafty hours. We try and include something exclusive from the die, not the do. Yeah, but Pamela, did you buy your kit from us? Let me know. Let me know. All right, so I just picked a few, maybe only like 4 or 5. Didn't have to do a whole lot. I can go back and add some more. So I just picked a few, 2, 4, I think I did 6. And then I'm going to put it, no, well, that's the problem. I'm so sorry, Pamela. That die was an exclusive die that Courtney and I designed. So therefore, we do not sell that die. It was an exclusive. So don't miss out tomorrow because we have another exclusive die. That would be why. It was a Spellbinder die, but you will never be able to buy it because it is exclusive to Courtney and I. We redid this entire die. It has an exclusive number just to the two of us. Okay, so that's kind of like what mine looks like. I am not too worried about the bottom, okay, even though it's hanging out because I'm going to put a butterfly there. But you see that leaf that's covering the words? I am going to snip it, because it's going to be in my way. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, and again, I don't mind having some of this loose because it looks a little bit more free flowing, a little bit more. Now, the last thing we're going to do to this is we're going to add a couple of butterflies. So to do that, we need to go to our larger sheets, and we're going to pull a couple of the butterflies. Maybe it's on this one. They're all over, aren't they? Butterflies, where are you? Oh, they're right in the middle. Huh. Okay, so we have this one right here. It's right in the middle. It is a brown one. Okay. And I don't think we did sell out of this, but not right away. Usually if you guys do it within the first couple hours, you're good. Now on that same page right here, we have a side flying butterfly. So again, let's pull that one. Those are the last two we need. And again, love it because that side butterfly can go either direction. Either direction. And we're going to use our pop dots, which I'm so excited are finally back in stock. So I puffed the wings. We're going to put one butterfly in the center like so. And with this one, I am going to put it right here so it also holds down that stem. Okay, I'm going to put a little one. Now here's what I like to do with this one because I know where I want it. I'm going to put the pop dot on the frame. Oops, pop dot on the frame. And then I'm just going to put the butterfly flying like that. Now, if you want to glue those ones down, if you're like, ooh, I think they're going to get snagged, you can just add a tad bit of glue like so. Okay, and that card is done. I love that die because, again, look how gorgeous it is. You can make edgers. You can do so much with it. We're going to use it again in our next card, but we're pretty excited about this one. Okay, just my typical layered cards. So let's start card number 2 because I know we're running a little behind because we had that little blip in the internet. So we may run a little behind. Everybody okay with that? I'm going to clean up my space while you guys are doing that. We're going to do our second card, little ones, and you'll have some leftover dies. I was very cautious not to use all of the dies. So whatever Courtney doesn't use, you will be able to go back if you want to add some more goodies. You absolutely can. Thanks, guys. Glad I can see all the comments. Okay, so for card 2, for your homework, we needed the 5x5 card base. That's a square card. It can open with the fold at the top, or it can open with the fold at the side. Your choice. I'm going to have my fold at the top. You're going to need a piece of gold foil that is just under 5 inches square, so 4 7/8 by 4 7/8. You're going to have the third largest die from the gold foil. So that's this one. So again, our die set is massive, so big. There is so many dies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dies. 7 useful dies, shall I mention. So the third largest, that is that one. And as you can see, I did once again die cut it from the middle. Saves me having to get another piece of gold. And then a piece that's 1.5 by 5. And that is this piece right here. 1.5 by 5. That's it. That was your homework. We'll get that away. So starting with our card, we're going to take our large gold and we are going to make sure it fits onto the card. Mine fits perfectly. We are going to glue that together. A little skinny border on those sides. That's okay. We got it. We're good. Okay, let's glue that on. And then set it aside. We're going to start cutting paper. I got a little too much glue. I'm a little gluey today. So, oh, yes, we're going to do some tricky stuff. I was trying to conserve paper. That was me. I was trying to conserve paper just in case Courtney needed a lot. So that's what we're going to do. I want you to find this paper. I called this the word paper. I don't know what the words are. Simple, dreamer. Looks like this on the front side. If you flip it over, this is the one I want you to find. Okay. And we're going to conserve. So we're going to start with this paper and we're going to cut a piece off the bottom. I want it to be 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches from the bottom. That's what we're going to start with. 1.5. Then I want you to trim the length of it to 4 3/4. So I have a piece that measures 1.5 by 4 3/4. And I'm going to glue that to the bottom right like that so that I have the same size border on the bottom and the sides. I might trim mine just a hair. Let's see if that helps. Give it a little bit. There we go. So gluing it down to the bottom, I'm going to leave a little bit of gold border on the bottom and a little bit of gold border on the side. So go ahead and attach that. A little bit of glue. Love this brown. Oh my gosh, such a pretty tone. Then leave that like that. Okay, and then I want you to find this paper. It's got the grid on the back side. So this is going to be the easiest way to describe this one. It's got the grid pattern on the back side. Grid pattern on the back. We're going to use the dots, but I want to make sure there's 2 different dots in there. So go ahead and find this one. Okay, we're going to cut a piece for this in a minute. Actually, you know what? We need to cut another piece for up top. We need another piece of that. Sorry. Let's bring that back in. Same measurement. 1.5 by 4 3/4. Same measurement. I forgot we need 2 of them. 1.5 by 4 3/4. Forgot we need 2 pieces. We need a piece for the top. Where's my brain? We're going to put a piece right there as well. So we're going to have a gap in the middle. Same measurement. The reason why we're doing this is because, like I said, Courtney and I had to split the paper, which means we each got a 4 by 6 paper. I decided on a square card, which means I need a 4 3/4. That exceeded my limit. So we'll get a little creative. There we go. Thought something was missing. So that's going to leave us a gap in the middle, which is like a 1 3/4, but don't sweat that. Okay, everybody found that grid paper. Flip it over so we are using the dotty side, and we're going to cut a piece from the bottom that is 2 3/4. Now, if you are like me, and you might not be like me, I don't like half dots. If it doesn't bother you, leave it. It bothers me. So I'm just going to cut those half dots off. Some people might love them, but I'm just going to cut them off. And then I'm going to do 2 3/4. I'm not worried about the top because I'm not going to see the top. Not at all. 2 3/4. But as you can see, I have full dots. I do. 2 3/4. And then same length, 4 3/4. So 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. Now do not attach it yet. We are not ready to attach it yet. 2 3/4 tall, 4 3/4 long. Everybody okay with that? We're going to die cut some more dies. Where did I put my fabulous die set? There it is. I can see us using this die set for future crafty hours, so definitely keep this handy. Okay, let's see. Will this one work? Yep, it will work. Okay, I'm going to take the second largest, and I'm going to do half of it. Only half, because the other half I'm going to use. But I want to show you something. So put it on, and we're just going to cut half. This was a wider piece, so we're just going to cut half. I chose the second largest die, halfway through. Okay, go ahead and die cut it. I'll show you what mine looks like once I get it through the machine. I should actually find out. Courtney, do you know if we bought all of them so far, or if there's any left? We might need to add a few to our next order. Spellbinders holds them for us, so I'll have to check. I'll have to check and see. And then Pamela, we can probably get you just the die, and Val. Okay, so this is what we have. We're gonna take that off, and as you can see, I have one side that's die cut, one side that has the flip side. So what I want to show you is you could always use that other side for another decal piece. We're going to use this. And what we're going to do is take one of our pieces. We're going to glue the decal edge to the bottom. Decal edge to the bottom. And then the straight edge, I'm just going to put at the top and trim it. Now, if you want to use the decal on the top, you can. We're really not going to see that, so that's why I just thought, oh, straight edge is fine. Straight edge is fine. Where is my tape? Oh my gosh, I have such a mess. Such a mess. These things need to have like a little air tag attached to it. Now, as I mentioned, the bottom, thank you, Josie. As I mentioned, the bottom is going to have the decal. How do you know what is the bottom? There is some writing on it. So if you're picky about that, have a look. Let's get this attached. And if you're just joining me, we had a little bit of technical difficulties at the top. So I will be running a little bit later because we had to restart it. Okay. And any that is hanging over, like I can see right here, I'm just going to snip in and cut it. So it's the same length. And then the top, I want to be straight. That's me personally. You can use the decal if you want. I'm just going to do it straight. And we're just going to trim that. Okay. Now we're going to attach it to our card. We're going to drop down a little bit, kind of right above that row that says strength. And very important, because we have no paper here in the middle, this is not a good time to be frugal with your foam tape. I want you to make sure that you have a piece of foam tape also in the center, because what you'll find is it's going to dip if you do not. So adhesive is very important for structure. It is the base of it. Okay. Corey, I'm going to see if I can get any more and we'll let you know. It's the die that we are having an issue with, so we'll see if there is any more. So that's what I'm going to do. I find that adhesive is, you know, like 2x4s. You build a house, it's much better to build your house with 2x6s than 2x4s. It's cheaper, but, you know, the foundation is better. So that is how I look at adhesives. So it's not the time to skimp out. Not at all. So I put it a little closer to the bottom. It's going to come up right above that row. Okay. I'm just writing down the names of those that will need it. Pamela, Val, and Corey. And I'll see what I can do No promises, but I promise I'll see. Okay, so now we are going to go to our next step, and that is to this one here. And we're going to take that 3x4 and we are going to attach it right onto our decal. Now, as you can see, it fits totally fine top to bottom. I got to take a little off the sides, not a lot, but a little. Now, you always could add extra layers if you wanted, but I don't think we need to with this. I think we just need to trim a hair off. So I'm going to just take literally just a smidge off each side. Don't overdo it. Okay, maybe a little bit more. A little bit more. Let's see. Let's see if that works. As you can see, we designed this so that it works for like 3x4 cards. It works by 4x A2 cards. We kind of designed it to fit all of the different important sizes to Courtney and I. All right. So if you glue that on, that's going to give you that nice decal border all the way around. Go ahead and attach it. Just like that. Courtney and I have been very busy over the last few days. Designing or curating crafty hours for you guys for the next few months. There are some incredible ones. And I know a lot of you are like, oh, I have this or I have that. We're going to be including a lot of exclusive items whenever we can to make our kits exclusive to us. So just keep that in mind. Some of them you may see other places, but ours are going to be as different as possible. And like we always say, we appreciate that support by you guys supporting Clipper Street and Scrapbook and Memories very, very much. It really does make Crafty Hours worth it. Of course, if everybody bought their stuff elsewhere, we probably won't do Crafty Hours because it's not going to be a good use of our time. So thank you guys as always. Now, what we're going to do here is this is going to pop up a little bit, kind of like that, over the top, just a little bit. So I need foam tape just right here, okay? Glue on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is put one piece there. I might have done too much, too big. Yeah, a little bit too big. And then another one here. Okay, so I just know that that's going to be about 1/2 inch in. That way I don't need to worry about it. And then glue on the bottom. Yeah, we really try. We spend hours sourcing, and then we spend hours designing and getting it all ready for you. We love it too, for sure. But again, that's why we try and have it exclusive so that it's not just, oh, I'll just go buy it over here. And, you know, it's got to make sense for us, just like you guys. Okay, so that's what we have. I have mine sticking up just a little bit. Everybody okay with that? Now, really, it's all about our die cuts. We're not going to cut any more paper. It is all about the die cuts. And there's a lot of die cuts on here. So, I know Courtney had you guys pull some. I did not. So if you find that, oh, I've already pulled this, it's okay. Just grab another one. So the first one I'm going to do is this green leaf. Okay, that's on the tall brown piece. I'm going to pull out this green leaf. If you've already used it, grab the one below. Although I might take that one too. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to grab that one. And again, if it rips, don't panic. I do believe that on one of mine, I'm actually going to rip it on purpose. So let's pull all of these out. This might take a... Okay, I'm going to pull that one out. And let's see. Ooh, I'm going to pull out this white flowered one right down here. Oh, thank you, Karen. That is so appreciative. Okay, I'm going to take out that white flower one. Let's grab that one. And let's start with those two to begin with. Let's not do too many at once. We're going to start with these two. So again, remember that your die cuts are double-sided, so you can flip them around. I'm going to start with this one, kind of facing to the left, and I'm going to put it right up in the corner like that. I am going to put foam tape behind those top 3 leaves. And because I have a little bit more space on those, I'm going to do these ones. I'm going to just put one there, one there. How am I doing? Oh, good. Okay. I know we had a technical difficulty, so I will be keeping in my hour, I hope, but it's going to be just shifted a bit. Okay, we're going to put that here. Oops. And again, because these are so delicate, you can control, that's what I'm trying to do, I say, you can control which way your leaves go if you want. I'm going to do it kind of like that. Okay, you can move them around, kind of like that. Now, when we go to use the white flower one, I'm going to turn it so that that little blossom is on the right-hand side. And as a matter of fact, yep, I'm going to peel it off. I'm going to put it on the right-hand side, and then we're just going to cut it right off. Like that. We're going to put it back on, but it's just not in a good location right now. So that's what we're going to do with that. Flip it over because these are double-sided, very special. Foam tape on this one. And you know what? We're also going to pull this. We're going to pull that leaf off too. So let me show you a picture of what I've done. I've dismantled this whole thing. Goes like that. We try and keep within an hour. For many reasons. One, we know your time is very precious. My time is very precious. I have a huge order in the back I need to get to. So I would love to craft all day, but I don't think that's going to work so swell. Okay, we're going to start with this large white flower. I'm going to put some foam tape on the back. I do not need to cover the whole thing. We all know that. And I'm going to move this up. Let me put it on and then I'll show you. It's going to look like that. So do you see how I'm really close to those words? I'm right on the edge. Just like that. Aw, thanks, Jan. That's very kind. Thanks, Val. Good? Good, good? Okay. Lots of layers. Now we're going to take this one. And I'm going to put some foam tape on the back of that. Let's put a piece here and a piece on the blossom. Now, this is one that I just tore apart, just like that, right? I just tore it apart. And again, I'm going to manipulate it to where I want it. And that is going to be, maybe I want this to go up. Kind of like that. And then just because we have this leaf hanging out, I'm just going to stick it right in there and I'm going to glue it flat. That's just with that leaf I just tore apart. Nobody's going to know. It's all good. A little bit of glue on the back. Stick it wherever you feel it needs to go. I want a little bit more greenery right there. So I'm just going to stick it like that. And I might move that leaf in a minute. I might move it around. Okay. Whew. Now, on your die cuts, this one, we have 2 fences. Doesn't matter to me which fence you grab. I'm going to take the top one. Top fence. This is where I may need to move that leaf, and that's okay, because we're going to put that right down here. Okay, it's going to go like that. So I'm going to cover up the edge of the gold. I might need to move that, but we'll see. Let's play it by ear. So grab one of your fences and we're going to put some foam tape. Again, I don't need foam tape on the whole thing. When there's places to save on foam tape, I'll tell you. Okay, so you see how it's bumping into that leaf? This is where we're going to move that leaf a little bit. I'm going to maybe move it up just a bit. And you know what else? I'm going to remove the foam tape that is right in the middle. So sometimes it's just trial and error going, nope, it's too bumpy. I got lumpy bumpies. So I removed the foam tape from there. Now it's perfect. Let's move that. Give me 1 second. I'll show you a close-up. I'm just going to snip that. Let's snip that because it's in my way. I don't stress about all of these little pieces. I just don't. Okay, there we go. Oh, I can't remember, Val, but yeah, I do love little fences. They're so fun. Okay, everybody good with that? Just added a little fence. I purposely covered the gold on the right, left-hand side. I just like that gold to be covered. Okay, except for the butterflies. Oh no, one more thing on that side. We are going to take this one down here. So on the bottom we have this beautiful fern. Let's grab that fern. Then we're going to move to the other side. Grab that fern. I'm going to just get rid of the tail of it. And I'm going to glue this flat right here, right at the top, poking out. I don't want glue on the whole thing, so I'm just going to put some glue right down the spine like so. Stick it under. And just add a little bit more greenery up there. Okay, couple more things to do, and we'll be done. I will try and make sure we're on time. Okay, let's pull this greenery right here. Right here. We're going to pull that one out. We're going to pull a couple. So we're going to pull one of those big green leaves again. Doesn't matter which. There's also a copycat right down here. So you've got, a lot of them have 2 of each. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay, and on the other one, we have this kind of florally, twiggy, bushy thing. Let's pull that out. And again, this one's a little delicate. I know I tore this one. I'm not worried. We're gonna deal with that. Okay, so let's start with those 2. Starting with our green, and I want the big leaf to go to the left, because again, we can always flip it, but I don't want to. And we are going to attach this kind of right like, gonna have to get, oh, I know what I did. Un momento. We're gonna pull up those leaves. Just like that. Okay. So just cut those 2 leaves off. They're going to be in the way. So now I'm going to attach that right like that. I only need some foam tape under the big leaf. Where's my one? The other 2, I'm going to put a tad bit of glue, but not too much because it is going to hang over. So it looks like this. And then we're going to put it right like that. Okay, then I'm going to take this and we are going to add it down on the bottom, kind of like this. Now I'm going to add some, I want to be careful not to cover too many words. I'm going to add some pop dots, some of those micro dots to those florals to the back side. And again, I can maneuver it. I can make it go certain ways because it's very delicate. I am just going to put a little. And again, a reminder that crafty hours are not classes. Okay, so we do go at a fairly good speed. If you've ever been in my class, you know I do not go this fast for people. But the thing is, you can always go back and watch them. Always, always, always. Okay, we're going to put this right about here. This one's in my way, so guess what? I'm going to rip it off and I'm going to move it. I can do that. Like that. Just right over top. Okay, couple couple more things. We need a collage of stuff. So pick one of these. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to use Moments today, but I use Thoughtful over there. We're going to use this brown stamp. Well, we can use the one that's on the same sheet. They're the same. Brown stamp. And then here there's a green one. Now, you may have already pulled this. Courtney is using half and I am using half. So whichever you have, we just need half. Okay, just half. And we have this little collage of tickets that we're going to glue together. All right. So my white one is on the bottom. Dab of glue on my ticket. Just a little. I'm gonna put that kind of like that. Dab of glue on my stamp. Gonna put that like that. Well, Janice, we are going to hopefully try and get some more because I think that die, I'm going to have to put in a call and see if there is any more. Okay, now we're going to put a little bit of foam tape across this, and I am only going to put a foam tape at the top, just like that. Okay. Courtney and I always joke. This has been a going joke since, gosh, COVID. We always say, trust us. Trust the process. If we think that it's going to be a good crafty hour, trust us, because we don't want to do crappy ones. We really don't. So we always say, trust us. Okay. We're going to put these right about, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Watch what I'm going to do. So I want these here. I'm going to block that flower. So guess what? Flower gets ripped off. He'll come back, put this here. And then, guess what? We put the flower, rip it, right here. Does it look like it's not attached? Trust me, it is. Okay, just a little collage. Now, a couple more things. We got one more word to do, our butterflies. What I want you to do is choose one of these. Doesn't matter which one. I am going to do Listen to Your Heart. Ooh, I got a fly around me. Get away. Listen to Your Heart. I'm also going to take this little green one right here that says number 75356. Okay, so any of your words and one of the little pieces. I'm going to put a little bit here. The Moonlight Garden one's going to be fantastic. And we have more. We have one more of those coming. I'm just going to give you the little lowdown, so please don't buy it anywhere. It might start with a K, and it might be really crafty for you, so don't. You just stay tuned. It's not tomorrow, but you stay tuned. Okay, we're going to ink this little piece up because it's too white for my liking. How are we doing for time? I am over. Coming up. I just have butterflies to do. Okay. Not turning it to a chocolate brown, just making it distressed. Strip of foam tape. You guys are probably way ahead of me because I keep losing all my stuff. Strip of foam tape. I'm going to cut this one because I don't need all of it, and we're almost at the end. And this is going to kind of cover up the bottom of that little collage, and that's why I put foam tape at the top so it sits better. So if you're finding it's not sitting flat, it is probably because your foam tape is at the bottom as well. I'm going to add a little glue there because I can see it needs a little glue. So that's why we do the foam tape at the top only. Okay, and then we have a couple of, where is it? Butterflies. So on this one, I'm going to get you to pull the big green butterfly and the little green butterfly. He's down here. Like that. And the brown side facing butterfly. They're all on the same sheet. You know what? I need to move this up. It's bothering me. That's the way I roll. I do it and then I look at it later and I'm like, nope, I don't like it. There, I need it. I need it better. Okay, there's those three. Pop dots. Let's go. Where's my pop dots? Okay, the big butterfly, pop dot just on the body. Flex those wings. And to me, there's a big gap right here. We're going to plunk it right there. Okay. This little butterfly, oh my gosh, he's simply adorable. Is that too big of a pop dot? Nope, it fits. He's going to go on the fence. Kind of draws your eye to the fence so it doesn't get lost. Oh, he's so cute. Right there, little guy. And then our brown facing butterfly, well, I want him to face into the card. So lucky me, double-sided. And I'm going to put him right here by the flower. Like that. Now, I also have some green leaves left over. So if I want to stick those leaves anywhere, right, I can stick them anywhere. I can put them over here. So you always, all these pieces that you kind of tear off, you can do whatever you like with them. Okay, that's it, right? I thought, ooh, 2 cards, no problem. Of course, we had a little bit of a interruption there, but we've got two layered cards, very layered cards. I will tell you, this morning, I got a sneak peek at Courtney's cards, and I was wowed. You're going to love Courtney's cards, so stay tuned for those. I've already done pictures of these, so I will upload those right away. So sorry about that little internet blip. Not sure what happened. And we will get this uploaded to our YouTube channel. This was Crafty Hour number 64. Tomorrow we go live with Crafty Hour 66. You're gonna love it. And again, it's gonna be an exclusive die, so please don't wait on this one, okay? Try and get in as soon as possible. We'll explain all the details tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific. Courtney will be back on her page, Scrapbook and Memories, at 5 p.m. Pacific tonight with her stunning cards. Thanks so much and have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Bye-bye.